Imagine a world where your intellectual diet consists of reheated reality TV shows, TikTok dance challenges, and the ever-engaging discourse of who wore it better on Twitter. Welcome to the cultural desert, a place where high culture is but a mirage, and the only oasis is the occasional insightful documentary buried under an avalanche of true crime podcasts. Once upon a time, human culture flourished like a rainforest. Dense, vibrant, and filled with the kind of philosophical debates that made people ponder their existence while sipping an overpriced coffee. Today, however, we're in a bit of a drought. Instead of the grand intellectual pursuits of yore, we now have 24-hour news cycles that repeat the same 4 headlines and social media platforms where people passionately argue about the correct way to eat a Kit Kat. According to Sapolsky, this cultural desertification isn't entirely our fault. Blame evolution, blame capitalism, blame the algorithm that insists you need to watch just one more video about DIY soap carving. The human brain, after all, is wired for shortcuts. So why read War and Peace when you can consume a 30-second summary narrated by a voice eerily similar to Siri? Science tells us that our brains love novelty. We crave new stimuli like an influencer craves engagement. Unfortunately, the modern world exploits this to keep us hooked on content that's, well, let's be honest, mostly rubbish. Neurologically speaking, we get the same dopamine hit from a cat video as we might from an evening at the theatre. So guess which one we choose? The problem? Not all novelty is created equal. Shakespearean drama reshaped the way we perceive human emotions. A viral dance challenge, not so much, yet our poor, overworked brains can't always tell the difference. Welcome to the bland buffet, where everything looks tempting but leaves you unsatisfied. It's like an endless sea of content, all vying for your attention, yet offering little in return. Ah, the paradox of choice. In a proper cultural landscape, the arts, literature, philosophy, and even deep scientific discourse should be flourishing. Instead, what we get is a bland, algorithm-driven buffet where junk food content reigns supreme. The internet was meant to be the Library of Alexandria 2.0, but somehow it turned into a never-ending celebrity gossip magazine. Instead of asking, what is the meaning of life, we now Google, why does my toaster make a weird noise? Or how do I train my dog to look sad for TikTok? Sapolsky warns that we're facing a situation where the tools meant to elevate human culture are, ironically, eroding it. The rise of machine-generated creativity, where AI writes scripts, composes music, and even produces artwork, poses the question, are we still actively creating culture or just passively consuming whatever the algorithm shoves in our faces? Like any good existential crisis, this one ends with a glimmer of hope. Perhaps the modern age isn't the death of culture, but merely an evolution. Maybe, buried under all the nonsense, there's still a thirst for real intellectual engagement. After all, if you've made it this far into a synthesis of Sapolsky's critique, you probably haven't completely surrendered to the cultural desert just yet. I am your guide, Antonio Klim. May the pseudo-powers be always with you.